Thursday stampers. Oh, I've got a fun card to share with you today. We are going to be doing a technique using the Soft Pastels chalk to do a fun resist card I think you're really gonna love. So let's get started. Okay, so here I have our Soft Pastels assortment. Comes in a fun box like this. This is a brand new set. I wanted you to see it all, how it comes with all of those great colors, and they are fun chalks that we are going to use to create today's card. I'm going to use also the textured notes, stamps, and dies, and we are going to make this a really fun chalk resist card. So here is what it looks like. See all that beautiful blended chalk, and our beautiful images really come to life with this technique. So as always, you can find the tutorial on my blog, and you can also subscribe there to get today's tutorial. And I also email that out each week on Thursdays to anyone who's part of my free Buzz Bulletin email list. Plus, if you would like a freebie from me, when you order $50 or more this week before my next Thursday video, you will earn the Thursday card kit. And so that includes all the pre-cut pieces to make 3 of this week's card, plus the printed tutorial. And you get that free from me with your $50 or more order before tax and shipping and after any rewards in my online store. Okay, so now I got all that out of the way. Now let's get crafty and start creating. So our textured note set has these beautiful dies, and so I used them to go ahead and pre-cut. I just did this for us to make it easier. So I cut 2 of the biggest die, and I cut, so 2 of those we're gonna need, and then I cut 1 of the second from the largest die. And so we're gonna use those to make the pieces today. I'm gonna put these aside, and I'm gonna show you some tricks with these chalks. So the number 1 trick with these chalks is that I like to use one of my kit collection boxes, so just an empty box. I use this anytime I do spritzing, anytime I do Wink of Stella. I keep Wink of Stella in one of our spritzer brushes, and so anytime I do the sparkles all over the card, I like to do them inside of one of my kit boxes. It just keeps the mess contained. And the same thing with our chalks. So here's my set of chalks that I have opened, and we're going to use this here in a minute. So I'm just going to set that aside, and first let's do some stamping. So let me just grab my grid paper here, and we're just going to go ahead and put that die cut. So this is the smaller of the 2, the second from the largest die cut. It's just die cut out of basic white. And then I'm going to grab some Versamark ink. So the 2 things you need for today's technique are your Soft Pastels chalk set and your Versamark ink. So Versamark ink is the same ink that you would use if you were going to heat emboss, but it's like this sticky kind of ink, and so it can create some beautiful techniques using these chalks. So I'm going to first ink up my sentiment. So for today, I'm just going to use our thank you that's part of this textured notes set. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that down. Now it's a clear sticky ink, so you can't see it yet, but if I get close, well, I still think you can't see it. So just know I can see it, and it's about right there. So then I'm going to take my leaf image here, and I'm going to ink this up. It's larger, so I like to ink those large ones up on their back. So we're just getting that sticky ink. You can probably see it glisten there. And so now I'm just going to kind of stamp this around my sentiment. So I know you guys can't see this, but you just wait till the reveal here. It is a stunning technique. So I know that there is one I stamped here, one I stamped here. My sentiment is here, so I'm just going to turn this around. And let's do one maybe kind of like across the top there. So just ink that up once more. And we'll just stamp that down. Okay, so now let's grab this, move my grid paper to the side. I'm going to put this in my kit box, and let's start using our chalks. So this is a little bit of a messy technique, so that's why I like to use the box. I also like to keep some baby wipes kind of to the side, so when I'm done, I can clean them off. So I'm going to start with my Granny Apple Green here, and I'm just going to put one finger here at the top, and I'm just going to kind of rub my chalk across the top. Now this technique with these dies is particularly great because these dies kind of have a pattern around the edge, and so with the chalk is actually going to go into those. Then I'm going to take my Coastal Cabana, and you can use the tip or you can use the side, doesn't matter. And the same thing, I'm just going to kind of rub right over that next part. And then I'm going to take my blue here, and let's do that right at the bottom. Now it already is starting to look great, but the next thing I'm going to do, so you can see we've got kind of chalky fingers, that's why I like to keep it contained. I'm going to grab just a pack of some tissues, so just some regular tissues, a little pack of those. I'm going to unfold this, so we have our tissue here. And I'm going to start at the top and kind of lightest to darkest. I'm just going to go down, and you see how magical that's becoming? It's a blending in those chalks, it's softening those, and it's also removing any excess kind of chalk dust that I might have left over there. So just put my tissue here to the side, tap off anything else, and look at how beautiful that reveal is. So that Versamark ink, that sticky ink, kind of picks up the chalk pigment, and then also the detailing in our dies. Do you see how the chalk coloring just kind of gets in there? I love this technique. It's so beautiful. So I'm going to go ahead and set that aside. Now you can see I don't have any chalk mess on my desk. It all stayed contained in my kit box. So if you get a kit, make sure you save one of your boxes to use for, it's kind of like a technique box, right? So let me move this to the side. Then I'm going to grab my trusty baby wipes here. Before we get our card made, we're just going to pull those out, and I'm just going to get any of the chalky, inky off my fingers so that I don't get it on my project, right? So then we'll close those up, put those to the side, and then I'm going to bring in my card pieces. So now we just get to put everything together. So I have a piece of Blueberry Bushel cardstock. I've already cut it in half and scored it, and we're just going to go ahead and flip this and burnish those edges so we get a nice crisp fold there. And then I'm going to bring in those two largest dies that I die cut with basic white. And we're going to put one on the inside and one on the outside. Easy so far, right? So you'll have to tell me in the comments if you love to use our chalk pastels or if this is new to you, and how wowed you are by these. At the end, I'm going to show you, I was having so much fun playing with these that I created a whole bunch of cards using this technique and some varied colors and things, so I can't wait to show you those. So we'll just put this right on the inside, and I didn't do any stamping on the inside on this one because I really just loved the texture that these dies create. So you could absolutely stamp one of the leaves inside, or you could leave it blank. Okay, so we'll close that back up, And then we're just gonna take our chalk piece that we created and flip it over here and grab our Stampin' Dimensionals. We're just gonna go ahead and add these in the corners and a couple in the middle here. And then we'll peel the backs off of those and we'll line this right up. And then of course we'll finish with a bit of bling. For our bling today, I'm going to use our rhinestone basic jewels because, you know, they really go with everything. I think I got them all there. Okay, so we'll just grab this and center that right on our card front. And so I just like to have some grid paper to kind of press that down. If there's any excess chalk, then it just stays right there. Isn't that beautiful? Okay, so let's bring in the bling. We've got our jewels here, so just our basic rhinestone jewels. Have my take your pick tool here, and we're just gonna go ahead and add 5 of these smaller jewels. And I'm just kind of putting them around my thank you. There we go. Aren't those pretty? So a simple card, but a wow technique. I love how that soft, almost gives like a watercolored kind of soft look to it, right? Okay, so we've got those, but I wanted to show you some that I was just playing with using the same stamps, but some different coloring techniques. So we'll put those up here. Here's another one that I used, and instead of backing it with one of the dies, I actually backed it with some designer series paper. Same here. You could use, like I did, the multicolors there. This one I just used the Gorgeous Grape chalk and went over the entire thing. So just stamped it one time, went over the whole thing, and then you almost create like your own colored, soft colored paper, right? Here is a Mossy Meadow. Here's another 2-colored one. One that I did some stripes with. Whoops, put that the right way. And then one that I just did a strip. So I stamped a bunch and then just cut it down in kind of a strip fashion there. And look at all those chalk variations. This chalk resist technique is absolutely a fun one. So remember, if you want the pre-cut pieces for today's card, you can place your $50 or more order with me in my online store. You can find the link to that below, and also on my blog you can find that at stampinqueenbee.com. If you want these emailed to you, make sure you join my Buzz Bulletin email list, and I will be happy to send you my tutorial each and every week. It's got the pre-cut, or it's got the supply list. What does it have? It's got the supply list, it's got the measurements, and the step-by-step instructions all included for you. So thank you so much for joining me today and every week. Thanks for liking, subscribing, sharing with your friends, and I really truly appreciate each and every one of you. I will be back next week for another fun card tutorial class. I can't wait to see what you do with this technique. Please send me your cards and your ideas, your inspirations. I love seeing each of those. So have a great week, everyone, and I'll see you soon.